streamers. And forgive me for being this far back. I'm this far back because I'm going to do some demonstration. I'm going to show you all some things about using flags and streamers. But I just wanted to just thank you all for being in this session. And many of you have already read the bio, so you already know who I am, so I won't go into any introductions and all of that. But I do want to share with you just my personal view, which is not in the bio in the program, about dance and worship. I believe that worship in dance is a very personal expression of a relationship with God, which we've heard already from Thursday until now, and even in the session to worship you are there. I believe that when you are dancing, it is an invitation to all who watch to begin to worship God. If your dance does not invite others to worship, you must reevaluate your reason for dancing. Dancing is an expression of the heart. If your heart is for God, everyone will know it, because the anointing that breaks every yoke will begin to flow. Dance brings liberty to the dancer and those who will enjoy the dance as it's being ministered. And finally, dance should bring reverence for a very holy and awesome God. So if you're up dancing and when you finish, people are not stirred to worship God, then you may need to reevaluate what it was that you were doing when you were up there. Because when you are finished, they should want to worship the Lord. That's my personal view. So I just wanted to share that with you so you'll know where I'm coming from as I get started. And then let's just go to a couple of scriptures. I don't know if anybody's taking notes or writing it down. I want to give you the scriptures that I'm going to refer to. We're going to refer to Psalm chapter 60 and verse 4. And we're going to refer to Song of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 4. And we're going to refer to Isaiah 13 and 2. And all of those scriptures talk about flags. Where in the Bible, there's only one time the word flag is used. And that's over in Job chapter 8 and verse 11. But most of the time in the Bible, it's referred to as a banner. And when we start talking about banners, there is a name for the Lord that describes why he's talking about banners. He is Jehovah Nissi. He is the Lord our banner. And so that is the reference to flags in there. And when they used flags and banners back in the Israelites' time, they would use it to declare who God was and what he had done for them. And the first place that you hear it mentioned or in the Bible is after they had defeated the Amalekites, which is one of their enemies. And they declared a place calling God Jehovah Nissi, that he is our banner, that he has protected us, that he shielded us. And so they erected this place, and they erected banners to express that God was their banner. And he is our banner. And those scriptures that I just shared with you, Psalm 60 and verse 4, Song of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 4, and Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 2, what they talk about is God's banner over us being love. That's what they're talking about in those scriptures. His banner over us is love. And him being Jehovah Nissi. See, when you start saying Jehovah Nissi, you start recognizing who God is. He is your banner. When you start recognizing who he is and declaring who he is, he arrives on the scene. And so when you start thinking about a banner, and you start thinking about flags declaring that he is Jehovah Nissi, you are inviting him on the scene. You're inviting him to come. You say, you are my Jehovah Nissi. Every time that flag waves, you are Jehovah Nissi. It changes the atmosphere in a room when you wave a flag. When you start declaring, you are my banner. You are my protection. You are my God. You love me. That's what they were declaring. Israel had some issues. We have some issues. You know, God delivered them. You know, they were done, and he'd get it all cleaned up, and then they do something else. And so then they have to start somewhere else. And if you look through the scriptures, you said they have to declare a whole bunch of names for him. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Shalom, because they were forgetting. And so we have to bring them back there. And so it's the same thing with us. Our Amalekites or different things. Who can give me some examples of enemies for us in modern day times? They were actually physically fighting. But let me see some hands. What would you think would be a modern day enemy for us that we would have to fight against? Some of you have alluded to it in some of the sessions.
Attitude.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, that's a good one. Anybody else? Modern day enemies of our soul that we have to fight.
Pride.
That's an excellent one. Another one. Anybody? A modern day enemy.
Music. My sister over here said.
She said music.
My sister said music.
Music. The style of music. That's very important. Yes, baby.
Peer pressure?
Peer pressure. Yes, that is one. That's a modern day enemy. We can go a little further. You know, financial stress. You know, young people, you all may not have that much, but it's on your parents.
I got some.
Financial stress. Or family stress, where, you know, families are not in agreement with what you're doing. If you're trying to serve the Lord, you're getting bombarded from the outside because they don't like what you're doing. So that's a modern day enemy. Okay? Or your self-image. Some of us have issues with who we are. You know, so you got this